Hello, I'm Cleo Heslop. I hope you're enjoying SciPep and thank you for coming to learn more about our project. I'm here speaking about a national survey of science communication preferences conducted in collaboration with Anthony Dudo and Jacob Koppel at the Center for Media Engagement at the University of Texas at Austin. So the whole topic of this conference is science communication and engagement. And I think most of us know that public communication by scientists provides this direct link between citizens and the forefront of scientific and technological advancements. However, in a modern communication context, this is happening in a really dynamic information system where evidence is presented alongside content that centers on emotions, conspiracies, and sometimes even misinformation. And simultaneously, political polarization between Republicans and Democrats is expanding, leading to amplified levels of distrust, worsening relations between people with different political opinions. And these partisan divides, we know, extend to science and to specific science-related issues, such as climate change. So, number one, we were interested in how much these divides infect all areas of science, including basic science. But also we're interested in the question, how can scientists communicate with citizens in ways that can bridge political divides and enhance people's ability to thoughtfully engage with scientific issues? So through a representative national survey, we sought to find out how US citizens currently feel about core aspects of science communication and taking into account their political ideology. So we asked respondents to make judgments about 5 key topics: types of science communication, the trustworthiness of scientists, long-term communication goals, medium-term communication objectives, and some specific communication tactics. So the survey was conducted in August last year, 2020, among 1,010 Americans aged 18 and over. Survey funding was provided by the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation as part of our Connective Democracy Initiative. So I'll just spend the last minute or so to run through the key findings and implications for science communication and engagements. Our research identified the least polarizing science communication goals, objectives, and tactics and traits. So this is where there's most alignment between liberal and conservative views. We found that this was science communication that did not seek to incite anger or division, that listened to the public and consult different viewpoints, and that disclosed how research is funded, and also wasn't done by scientists seeking to improve their own reputation through communication. By contrast, the largest partisan differences, or the most polarizing tactics and communication goals, were any communication that occurs through protest or demonstration, that publicly questions the credibility of those who disagree with scientific consensus, that discredits people who spread myths or incorrect science communications, so calling people out, or that is seeking to secure adequate funding for scientific research. So those are either strongly preferred or strongly discounted by either liberals or conservatives. So overall, our research shows that scientists and science communicators must consider political polarization when engaging the public and choosing how to do so. In general, liberals are more supportive of science communication goals, objectives, and tactics than conservatives, but both liberals and conservatives are likely to describe scientists as experienced and qualified. There are signs that American citizens on both sides of the political spectrum have an appetite for dialogue-based approach to science communication, where they can interact directly with scientists on issues that are important to them. However, the findings emphasize a preference for science communication that builds connections and supports people to use science in their daily lives, rather than inciting anger or publicly shaming anyone. The results also suggest that Americans think scientists and science communicators have room to grow when it comes to their warmth and relatability. So there's a lot about how scientists conduct themselves when speaking and communicating in different ways. So why I think this study is particularly interesting for basic science is that it indicates that those wishing to engage a diverse public should focus on messages of hope, progress, discovery, and openness, as these are most likely to connect across the political spectrum.